feel like, given the disasters we are seeing on the East Coast in Texas, and the disaster that hit your island just 2 years ago, I think a good place to start is frankly with the recovery, response, lessons learned, and what all of us who will be inevitably facing these extreme weather events, what we can learn from your experience.
Yeah, I think it was coming up on, a few years from the tragic accident, it happened in August. So, it's that the anniversary milestone is coming up. And so we always think about that tragic day that happened. I think no one knew back then that what a red flag warning was. And so I think, a lot of folks who live in drier areas and high wind areas, they really know what that is. But I think that just shows how much of we let our guard down, right? I think people always think that it's not going to happen in my community. We will always be safe until it does, right? And so I think that's the thing that people all across the United States, you always have to be prepared, because you don't know what Mother Nature is going to bring in, what kind of conditions are going to permeate to wreak havoc on a community. And so, I think during that time, we had a very difficult time managing through the fire. Post-fire, Maui is a little bit of a more remote than somewhere like Oahu, where at least you have the military that could have came in and assisted, but you couldn't do any helicopters at that time because the wind was so high. And so that's why you saw that much devastation happening. It was just bad weather, bad confluence of events. And since that time, I think we've been in rebuild mode. I think we've been working very closely with our partners at FEMA. I think one of the biggest things that I was working on was the housing aspect. I think, our governor took charge and he actually put folks in hotel rooms, and we were paying a tremendous amount every single night. And so when we look back at, was that action the right one? I think we always debate if that was the right thing. But I think at the time we were like, we wanted, get people into shelter. We had, thousands of people who just didn't have places to live. And so that was something that we decided we needed to do. And that continues to be a perpetual problem. I think if you ever come and visit Hawaii, it's very expensive. And so cost of living is a huge driver in a lot of what we do. And so I think housing is something that we're trying to figure out, both temporary housing and the long-term permanent housing. And if you come and visit today, the town is slowly rebuilding. It won't get back to what you iconically have known Lahaina to be for many, many years. I think we're about to reopen the Lahaina Harbor, where you probably launched off to go on your dinner cruise or go snorkeling. But that's like the first big reopening of the town. And then hopefully some of the shops will then start to rebuild. It has been slow. There's been a lot of debate, and there's still, I think, people who are unhappy with what the plan needs to be. But I think it shows that we really have to think through, and you have to be resilient during these times. But you have to keep moving forward and trying to figure out what are the things that a community really needs to sustain themselves once again.